I'm Kit, and this is Caleb.
And we're the Trophy Bros.
Welcome to our podcast.
Listen as we share our crazy,
Off the wall,
and oftentimes ridiculous thoughts.
enjoy the episode.
Welcome back to Trophy Bros. I'm Caleb, this is Kit, and this is our 9th episode, the last episode before we hit the double digits. So
and summertime.
And summertime, yeah. So this is our Mother's Day edition. Mama Bears are the beast. And so we're going to talk all things moms, going to talk about how special our moms are. But, you know, our moms can sometimes be funny, but at the same times, our moms can also be serious, and don't ever want to be disrespectful to our moms in any way. But I do want to honor them. But they do say some pretty off the wall things. So what is the most mom thing your mom has ever said?
Well, you know, I was one of those kids that kind of pushed the limits a little bit.
Yeah.
And so my mom was always like, I brought you into this world. I could take you out, you know.
Yeah, I always think of like Forrest Gump. My mama always said life is like a box of chocolates.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to get. See, my wife, Mindy, and I, we went to Savannah, Georgia back in December. And so we got to see the bench and all that where Forrest Gump was filmed and all that kind of stuff. My mom was always one of those that was like, this wind's just beating me up.
Yeah.
Or I'm so mad I could spit.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard those quite a bit.
I mean, my mom always had one of those things.
You're making me pull out my hair, you know, all that kind of thing. I'm like, she still got a head full of hair, though.
Oh, yeah. And that's always one of the things that drives me nuts. Even as I'm married, my wife, she always, for some reason, I hate to say she sheds, but like in our bathroom floor, it doesn't ever matter how much hair she has on her head. Like, there is hair that always gets stuck to my feet as soon as I get out of the shower, and I find weird hair in weird places on my body. It's like I go to I'm like, where is this hair coming from? I don't have hair this long.
Exactly.
And it's like coming out your butt crack. I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, this is crazy stuff. But yeah, like moms say some of the craziest things. Like we always, my mom is like, her grandma name is Lolly. My dad's name is Pop, Lollipop. And so we always kid around like when my mom passes away, we're going to have like a book of lollyisms of what we're going to just stand at her funeral. We're going to read lollyisms of just some of the things that she's done over her life.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's been times to where she was like with my kids, like we went over and visited and like, I think at Christmas or something, we got there late, and Curry, my son, is sitting on her lap as like probably 4 years old, and she fell asleep and he fell asleep on her lap, and she wakes up and is like, where's Curry? And she's like literally
in his lap,
in her lap. And I'm like, are you serious? Or like her sunglasses are in her hair.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, where are my sunglasses? Yeah. Or she's even wearing them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, just things like that. And I don't ever say those things to be disrespectful of her. I don't think she would ever take them that way. But
no, I don't think so either.
But it's just those lollyisms that we've always said. And my wife can be that way too. My sister-in-law can be those ways too. And I can even be that way too sometimes.
Oh,
too.
yeah, for sure.
Especially as I've gotten older.
Yeah.
But those are just some of the things that I've always noticed. What is the best Mother's Day gift that you've ever gotten your mom?
My presents.
Your presents?
No, I'm just, well, I mean, besides that, I guess. I don't know. I know one year we got a nice rocking chair for the porch.
Oh, that's sweet. Did y'all make it, or did you?
No, we just bought it and put it together for her. But other than that, man, it's, you know, I'm not, and I'll be real honest, like, I'm not the best gift giver.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say the rocking chair and some gift cards here and there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know. I'm like you. Like, my parents are probably the world's worst people to buy gifts for, just because they can go, like, as soon as they think of something they want, they just go out and buy it.
Right. Well, you know, like, I mean, my mom was a single mom, so like, it wasn't like we had all the extra money to go do that kind of stuff. So I mean, we're kind of minimalist, you know, we kind of, you know, so we really didn't, you know, do a whole bunch of gifts when growing up on those kind of holidays. Yeah. And so, but yeah,
It's like the homemade gifts.
Yeah, stuff like that. I mean, cleaning the house for her, that was always a good gift.
Breakfast in bed.
Yeah, me and my brother were notorious, especially during the summertime, is like she would go to work, then she would come home and the house would be totally rearranged because we're like, yeah, we're tired of the same setup. Let's change it up. And
was it like a good thing? Like, did she like it typically?
Sometimes, and sometimes she's like, nope, put it back. So,
like, did you put the TV on a completely different wall?
Yeah, we did that a couple times, moved the couches around, stuff like that.
I've done that in my bedroom growing up.
Yeah.
Like, my parents didn't mind so much as long as it was in my bedroom. Yeah. Yeah, but the living room, I could see that being like, feng shui's off a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, I don't know. I was one of those type of kids to where, like, my dad would always buy, like, as a kid, my dad would always buy a gift and say, oh, this was from Josh and Caleb.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Oh, yeah, we bought it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then my dad would do that, like, for birthdays, too. I'm like, okay. Until one year, my mom kind of figured it out, like, when my dad bought her a car. I'm like, yeah, Caleb and Josh had zero thing to do with it.
Yeah, this is for Caleb and Josh. They co-signed for you.
Yeah, now our credit sucks. No, I'm kidding. Our credit probably would be great. No, but yeah, so you typically, like, my mom would love anything that we made. My mom was always gracious and loved everything that we did. And I remember one year my mom had like this big backyard where my dad had made this little waterfall and just water feature in the backyard. My dad loved to do like hands-on stuff in the backyard, and so I thought, like, this would be great. It had koi fish in it. I'm gonna go buy some of those little sand dollar looking turtles, like, from the pet shop.
Yeah.
And so I bought like probably 5 or 6 of them, and we put them in there. And I mean, to me, I didn't have a whole lot of money, but I thought that was kind of cool. And I think by the end of the week, there was only like one that survived. So, but things like that, I think it's more of the gesture that moms love and all that kind of stuff. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. So, I mean, we're talking about it, and so what makes that special bond between the mother and son?
I don't know. I think there is always that. There's a special relationship between a mother and a son, and I think vice versa between the father and the daughter.
Yeah.
And I have a theory. There's a theory that. And it's the stupidest theory that there ever was, and you may have heard me say it before, but I think it goes down to buttons.
Buttons?
Buttons. Do you ever notice how, like, on a guy's shirt and a female's shirt, the buttons are on a different side?
Never noticed.
You never noticed?
Never noticed.
All right, so go home and put on your wife's shirt. I'm kidding.
I am going to go home and look now.
Go home and look. The buttons on a female shirt are on the opposite side of a man's shirt.
Mine's always on the right side.
Yep. So on the female side, it's different. And so my theory is it's that way so that when a woman is dressing their son
for their wedding day,
I don't know if it's for their wedding day or just growing up, that they can button those buttons facing them, and then there's that relationship. It's easier for them to do that, and vice versa. For the dad and the daughter.
I'm going to have to go check this out.
I'm just saying, that's my theory.
I'm going to have to check that out.
It goes back to buttons. It's the stupidest theory.
Huh. I never thought of it. Like I said, I never knew that was a thing.
Yeah. So, but no, that's the stupidest theory that there is. But I mean, in essence, I think you're looking eye to eye and you're button buttons, and it's natural. It comes natural for a guy. If it was the same way, it would be awkward. It would be opposite of what you're used to.
Yeah.
So, to me, I think there is.
I wonder who came up with that.
I don't know, huh? I just thought of that theory a long time ago, and I thought that was kind of interesting. I don't know why they would ever do it that way.
We're about to go pull shirts out of your closet.
Well, I don't have women's shirts.
Your wife?
My wife does. I don't know if she has any that has buttons though.
Okay, whatever.
Anyway, but yeah, I don't know what it is about it. I think obviously I think there's more to it than buttons. But
well, I mean, your mom is the caretaker growing up, and so I mean, who wouldn't want to be taken care of and loved unconditionally? And I mean, I'll be honest. Like me and my brother, I mean, we were straight up, I mean, hooligans, and so
Yeah.
and so I mean, for her, I mean, and we've done some stupid stuff, and so and for her to continuously to love us and stick up for us in some of those situations, I was like, I don't know why you're doing this, but hey, thanks. But no, like I said, I mean, like I know when my kids are sick, they don't want nothing to do with me. They want their mom, and so I think it's just that caretaker, the love, and
Yeah, but it's almost
and it goes before. I mean, obviously you spent 9 months in the womb, and so it's kind of. I mean, it has to go back all the way to that. It's just that they already have that bond when they're in the womb, and so
yeah, and I think it's so incredible that instinctiveness that a mother has.
yeah,
Like as soon as that child is born, they know what to do.
Yeah.
They know how to care for that. And there's this idea, this theory though, that even as a mother is, like you said, is carrying that child, that their heartbeats become synchronized.
yeah,
That their heartbeat is in rhythm. And so for them to be able to do that, there's that synchronization, that rhythm that they're already in. And so to me, it's so incredible that instinct comes. And it's not just like within like your wife and your children and my wife and our children, but you see that even within the animal kingdom, so to speak. Not to say that we're animals and all that kind of aspect, but you see that how like when a baby cow was born, like with a calf and a heifer, you see how it's just instinct, how they take that nurturing instinct, and a calf instantly knows what to do.
what's to do? Yeah,
And I mean, you see that all the way across the board. Like even like I think of like a giraffe. Like I've been on safari in the Serengeti, and I haven't seen a giraffe being born, but to see a giraffe, and I've seen a baby giraffe with its mom, and I just think, wow, that's a long way for a giraffe to fall.
Yeah,
And then, but I've studied and I've seen stories of like how as soon as a giraffe is born, its mother like basically has to be so rough with it so it can survive the natural predators of it, and it basically has to teach it to stand up and then knock it down to help it understand that if you don't learn how to stand and to stand firm, that you're going to be attacked. You're going to be lion meat.
yeah, absolutely.
And so it's one of those things that it's so intriguing to me that how God created these animals and the mothering instinct to take care of those things. Man, it's just so incredible. And to see that same instinct within our wives, and to see that same instinct instilled within our moms, man,
Well, I know, like personally, like the weeks leading up to our firstborn, Caden, Kaylee was like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, I don't know how to be a mom. Like, I don't. And once he was born, it was like boom. Like she knew what to do. She knew everything.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, like every time he had fever, we were like running around and kind of paranoid about that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
I mean, but now we're on our fourth one and we're like, yeah, she's all right. that kind of mentality.
Rub some dirt on it.
Yeah. But
pick up that pacifier. And
exactly. But it's like, I mean, it's just given to him. I mean, it's definitely all God there, but it's crazy just to see the natural instinct that comes out.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's just like a switch that switches. Really, I mean, it's that fast, and so to me, that's just amazing.
Oh yeah.
So, what makes your mom kind of unique in the whole Mother's Day event?
Man, my mom is one of those who's just, I crave, I'm a physical touch guy. And so I love it when my mom, when she was here, I don't get to see my mom very often. Like we don't live in the same town. And so like she was here for my daughter. She had a dance recital. So she was here. I get to see her. And so when she comes up, and she just has a way of just simply saying, man, I'm so proud. I'm so glad that you're my son.
Yeah.
And so the rare times that I get to see her, and she comes up and she just, puts her hand on my shoulder and just, grabs me and just puts her hand around my shoulder and hugs me and just, I'm so glad that you're my son. I'm so proud of you. And just the simplest things like that, I'm so grateful for.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't take a whole lot. And just to hear that, it's awesome to hear that. and to know that she's so sincere, and she doesn't have to say it often, and she doesn't have to say what things she's proud of me, just to know that I'm her son and that she's proud of me. That's all I need.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And my dad's the same way too. But it's just knowing that I'm her son, and that she wanted me so bad that they went to great lengths to have me as their son.
Yeah, for sure. Well, as for my mom, her drive, that really makes her unique. Like I said, she was a single mom for, most of definitely all my teenage years, but I think it was, 9, 10 when my parents kind of split up there. And just to see her come, I mean, like I said, there was weeks, like, we didn't have any kind of money, and
Absolutely.
for her to still make everything work. And me and my brother never wanted for anything. Like, new basketball shoes come around, I mean, she made it happen.
She hustled.
Yeah. And so, just that drive that she has is always inspiring. It always inspired me. And so she's always wanted, what's best for us. And, she wants us to be better than what she, was and is.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. Man, that's so inspiring. You want that. You want to be like that for your kids, just like she was that for you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Man,
Absolutely.
that's cool.
So,
Does your mom listen to the podcast?
man, I don't even know if my mom knows what a podcast is.
I know.
I know I've mentioned it to her that, oh, yeah, like me and Caleb started a podcast. She goes, oh, that's cool. So I really don't know if she really listens or not.
It's like, do y'all snap peas?
Yeah, but my mom, she listens to like the 80 hair bands a lot, and now Mexican music because she's married to Jose and and all that. So it's really funny because like when she's around like his side of the family, like she tries to put on that Mexican accent, which is hilarious to hear. But no, like I said, I don't even know if she knows what a podcast is.
Yeah. Well, I don't know I know my parents know that we have a podcast, and I know they know what a podcast is. I don't know if they listen to it on a regular basis. They probably I'm going to see what that is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, okay, that was kind of boring. I'm not going to listen to that right now.
I'm not going to listen to them two jabber about the stupid stuff.
I know my in-laws listen to it because that one episode that we did like for Easter, and I gave them a hard time about not like
the Cadbury eggs
giving me peeps, and I don't like peeps. They gave me a hard time, and then like my mother-in-law showed up to one of my son's baseball games, like with all of the Easter candy that I actually like. So I know that they listen. And so Denise Morgan, happy Mother's Day. Thank you for listening and being supportive. Day. So
yeah, for sure.
So yeah, thanks for listening. All right, so as we're talking about Mother's Day, and we've already given a shout out, let's just officially say Happy Mother's Day to Donna Crouch, Denise Morgan,
Linda Chavez, Kaylee Sparks, Leslie Medlin, or
Mindy Crouch. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, I didn't say my wife, but
I said Medlin, but it's Barham.
Yeah. I didn't go maiden name on
yeah.
But so there's that. So let's think of famous mothers, TV, movies, maybe even celebrity mothers. Who do you think of when you think of?
Oh, I mean, this is kind of obvious. I mean,
and I think this will
go.
I think this will date you as to which era that you grew up in.
Mine's Kitty Foreman.
Yeah, I figured you would say that. I
love Kitty.
I think of like when I instantly think of famous moms, I think of like Momma's Family, which that's my era that I kind of grew up in. But I think of like Carol Brady. You got to think of like, and then you think of like what is it? Leave it to Beaver. I forget her name, but
I don't know.
I think of like Claire Huxtable, Marge Simpson. What's her name of what is Married with Children? Peggy Bundy.
Peggy Bundy, yeah.
Yeah, I never really watched that show.
Yeah.
Roseanne.
Lucy McGillicuddy.
Who is that one?
I Love Lucy.
Oh, Lucy McGillicuddy? I didn't even know the last name.
Yeah, that's their last name in I Love Lucy.
That's
Lucille Ball is her real name,
well,
but yeah.
I just saw Lucy Ball.
But no, it's Lucy McGillicuddy.
I didn't know that.
And Ricky.
I think of a more modern show that I know my daughter and my wife love is This Is Us.
Hate.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Rebecca. Mandy Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's to me, I think that's more of a modern mom. But there's just so much drama in that show. I watched like the first two seasons.
It's like how much bad stuff can happen to one family.
Yeah,
That's what happens.
yeah. Well, that would like be the mother of the year, I guess. Or actually, I don't know if she would be mother of the year. She's like kind of I don't know if she's a good mom or a bad mom.
Yeah, I don't know either. That's kind of a toss-up. But no, I love Kitty Foreman, man. It's just funny.
All right, so I don't even know what this question is. Do you
know a lady or several of who kind of treat you as you are their own? That's how I took it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
No, yeah, absolutely. There's a couple of them that come to mind for sure.
Yeah, so I the reason this question kind of came up for me is because, as I mentioned earlier, I don't live close to my mom.
Yeah.
As for my job, it's always kind of taken us away from our families, and for us, and even especially, I think more for our kids, we've kind of had to have some families like this for us who are more like our surrogate moms and dads and grandparents, because like you're blessed. You're sometimes it's a blessing. I'm sure sometimes you always have family. I think it's always a blessing, but sometimes
absolutely,
you want to have some time to yourself too. But for us, we don't have built-in babysitters. We don't have that family that we can, like in crisis, that we have just to be able to run to down the street. And so for us, we have that, but it's not blood. And I think a lot of times it's like your in-laws, or that it's you guys who are our family. We have, I think of like our grandparents. I think of like Michi at the church, like who loves us, like and always checks on us and stuff like that. Man, we just have some of those people. We have like some of those like Jim and Glenda Smith who like we can just like we razz each other because we love each other.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But man, absolutely, we have those who treat us like that we are their children and love us unconditionally. And man, if I didn't have those people in my life, man, I would be up a creek.
Yeah, for sure. No, like for me, for like myself, I had two. I had Miss Jones, obviously. I've talked about her and the Jones family quite a bit. They were, every Friday or every, weekend we were over at their house. And so she played a big role, especially in my high school days. But a lady at our church, Barbara Miller and Glenda Smith, both of them have just poured into me tremendously. And, Barbara helped me out so many times just with odd end jobs and stuff like that. And she just the love that she gave me and Kaylee as we, were getting engaged and all that. That was always a blessing. But then, for my children, man, there's so many that pour into them, like y'all, and there's way too many people to count, and I really don't want to miss people and upset people.
Absolutely.
But there's so many people that my kids can just go to with no questions asked, and they would, do whatever they needed. But yeah, it's a blessing to have those ladies in your life, and so hopefully my kids kind of realize that when they get to our age, and so.
Well, I think it's so important to have those relationships too, because whether we realize it or not, it's kind of like those relationships are, and not to use such a churchy word, but those are discipleship relationships that, if something were to ever happen to me, that I know that my son and daughter can go to you, or they can go to those relationships that we have, and they know that those are safe relationships, that they are going to go to those relationships and mourn and know that those are family relationships until like our real family, until our blood family can get here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so it's for us, it's so valuable for us to have that. So I don't know. We're kind of blowing through these questions, but man, it's just so mothers are such an impactful thing. And we kind of alluded to this earlier when we talked about just the instinctiveness. And I know this is kind of a gross question, but when we talked about it, after like a calf gives birth, or I think of a deer or anything like that, there's always the nasty thing called the afterbirth. And I've always, as a pastor, I've always wanted to do like on after Christmas, I've always wanted to do a sermon like on New Year's Eve called
The afterbirth of Jesus.
like afterbirth, and just title a message on New Year's Eve called afterbirth.
What would you talk about?
Like after Jesus was born. After Jesus was born. But just title it Afterbirth. That way people think it's like the gross, nasty stuff. But it's not going to be about the gross, nasty stuff. It's just going to be like, hey, after Jesus was born, this is what happened.
Yeah.
But just title it Afterbirth. That way people are like super intrigued. Maybe more people come. Maybe more people are disgusted and like, I'm going to go talk
I'm not going to go there.
But they're going to miss out. They're going to tune in at least for some. They're going to look at the
title, like, I got to see what it is first.
They're going to at least look at the YouTube, at the live stream, is like, what was this all about? And they're going to see, oh, this wasn't that bad. Like Caleb didn't pull out like a placenta and like pass it out like we're doing the Lord's Supper with the placenta. No, I'm not that crazy.
Oh, man.
No, but the reason I put this on here, because I did see a video, and if I was weird enough, I would have pulled it out and showed it. But it wasn't a video of somebody eating placenta or anything like that.
Oh.
But it was some lady, some like hippity dippity lady who was like talking about how like when you give birth to your child, how you shouldn't let the hospital take your placenta and all that kind of, you need to keep it because the hospital is robbing you, because that placenta is like stem cell stuff that you should be able to keep and take home with you. And like, and it's like, it is like.
And do what with?
She was saying like, it's great for like, if you ever get cut, you should be able to take that and you could wrap that around, like you cut your finger, wrap that around your finger, and it's the greatest thing to heal cuts.
Well, I got cuts right here and they're healing pretty fine right now.
But I'm saying you wouldn't have any scars. And I'm like, because my wife is an OR nurse and she does, like they do C-sections and stuff like that. And so part of the umbilical cord, they have to, like when they cut it and they tie the belly button and all that kind of stuff, they have to take blood samples and all that kind of stuff. And part of that is part of the placenta stuff. But they have to take that and give that part of that in as a sample. They do tests and all that kind of stuff. But they are starting to do some of that to where they take some of that, some of the placenta and using it for stem cell research and doing it.
Well, I've heard of them doing like, they turn the placenta into like the capsules for like pills for after. Yeah. I don't know what for, but I mean,
it's supposed to like help.
It's
like
weird.
It's supposed to help you like for ladies who breastfeed. It's supposed to give you a better breast milk, and which is better in turn for your child. And look at us, we're talking about breast milk on Trophy Bros. And look, see, it's not that afterbirth isn't all that bad. Placenta, we're talking about it.
Well, when you say afterbirth, I'm thinking like placenta, like people eating it and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
you
just
have a placenta pie.
No, that's disgusting.
You put it in a pie. Like there should be like a recipe book
for placentas.
Maybe we should have.
I bet there is.
Maybe we should write a Trophy Bros
cookbook
and have placenta recipes.
Have a placenta section.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
We'll
so
jump on that.
Maybe we should have that as a question in our comment section of our Trophy Bros.
Yeah. Send your best placenta recipe, please. We'll get it published.
We should write a placenta cookbook. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It could be.
Yeah.
There are worse ideas. I don't know what they are, but there could be worse ideas. Like placenta popsicles.
Oh, no, stop. Just
But I'm serious. Like they're like you said.
What do you think a placenta tastes like?
I don't know.
Like a liver?
I don't know. I bet you could probably infuse it with things to make it taste like whatever you want.
What it tastes like?
Like coconut.
How would you cook it? Like a liver?
You could probably fricassee it.
Fricassee it?
You could probably saute it.
Smoke it?
So, like, could you, like, I don't know. Like, you talking about, like, roll it up in, like like a tobacco, like a cigar and smoke it?
No.
Or you like to smoke it like a brisket?
Yeah. Like a flank steak.
I don't know if it has that kind of.
That's what I'm saying. How would you know, first off?
Well, I've seen like placenta, like when a cow gives birth. I've seen like a cow eat placenta.
Oh, you're making my stomach turn, dude.
They slurp it up. And
it stinks, though. Gosh, it stinks.
I mean, that's.
Have you ever smelled like after a dog gives birth?
Yeah.
The smell makes me want to gag just talking about it.
We just talked about how a mother's instinct kicks in.
Yeah.
Just telling you.
My wife never once like, oh yeah, I want to keep my placenta.
I'm just saying.
Did
you
yours?
give an option?
Did your wife?
We didn't give them an option.
Oh, my wife had an option. They asked her.
Well, I don't remember giving my wife an option. They didn't give me an option.
Would you have kept it?
I don't know. I've heard of them like taking it and like planting a tree and like having like that way you could plant a tree and you could have this, I don't know, you call it a placenta tree. I don't know what kind of tree you would have.
Me either.
Like, could you like plant a
Just producing children off of it. Ding, ding, ding.
I don't know, children. That's like that's weird.
I know.
Like, what if it was like I don't know, like a pear tree, and that way you could eat like placenta pears. And it's like really good for you. It made your hair like all shiny.
I don't know, dude. That's weird.
I'm just saying.
That's weird.
Made your fingernails nice and strong.
That's weird.
Made your teeth really healthy. I'm just telling you, there's a whole lot of things. I'm just telling you, I think there's a market for a placenta cookbook.
So,
moms are the best.
We're going to get off the placenta. So let's. I want to ask you this.
I'm just telling you, I have a lot of good theories here, like the buttons.
Okay.
Buttons and placentas. That's my contribution.
Okay, so let's we're gonna switch gears.
That's hard for me to switch gears from placentas and buttons.
Go back to your wedding
I'm
day.
gonna try to.
Go back to your wedding day
Wedding.
or planning your wedding.
Planning my
Was
wedding.
your mom like, no, I want to do this like more than what your wife was doing? Like, did your mom have a lot of input?
I do remember my mom. She did struggle, like, because you're replacing. She was the woman.
She's getting replaced basically.
Yeah. She did struggle with that, and I don't know. I think my wife was sensitive to that. She let my wife let my mom have some input, but in the grand scheme of things, it was my wife's wedding.
Yeah.
And so what my wife ultimately wanted.
Y'all didn't dance, did y'all?
No, we didn't dance.
So y'all didn't have a mother-son dance?
No.
Y'all didn't have a song or anything like that, huh?
No.
Man, y'all.
We're square. Oh, see?
That's one thing I've never understood is like there's no dancing like at Baptist churches.
Well, I mean,
But there's dancing all in the Bible.
Yeah. I don't know if it wasn't necessarily because of that we didn't dance.
Y'all just not the dancing kind, huh?
No.
Okay.
I was ready to bust out of there.
Get to the honeymoon spot, huh?
That's right.
No, yeah, my mom's the same way. Like she's like, y'all just do whatever you want to do and all that. But we did dance.
Oh, I'm not saying my mom didn't have some input. My mom had some input.
Oh, my mom didn't. Like she didn't care. Like the only thing she asked was, like rehearsal. That she'll set everything up. But like she didn't care like color wise or anything like that.
Yeah, my mom and dad, they were very generous, especially when it came to rehearsal, dinner, and stuff like that. And they were very generous with the wedding and stuff like that too. And we were blessed with all of our stuff too because we knew people like that could we knew people who owned flower shop. And and Mindy knew people like her aunt and uncle owned a flower shop in Louisiana. I had some dear friends that we called aunt and uncle that really weren't our aunt and uncle, but they owned flower shop and all that kind of stuff too. So I mean, we knew people that had different things that could contribute to those kind of things that helped do our thing. So I mean, it was sweet.
Oh yeah,
but it was in the same thing. I think it was rather than it being my mom, I think it was more Mindy's mom that was.
Oh yeah, that's Kaylee. I mean, Leslie kind of does that on the side too. She does the flowers and the catering for stuff like that, and so. But no, I mean, if we could do it, I don't. to be honest, I don't know if we would change anything at
I
our
don't
wedding.
think we would either.
I mean, I hear a lot of people like, "Oh, I wish I would have just taken the money and run," kind of mentality. But
Yeah.
I think ours went really smooth. And besides my wife, the only thing she asked for was like the peel and eat shrimp, and it was basically all gone before we got there.
A what?
The peel and eat shrimp. It was like an
Oh.
appetizer thing,
I got you.
and she didn't get any of that.
How dare you?
But no, yeah. So, but yeah, that's always.
Yeah.
You always hear the monster-in-law stories.
Yeah.
So I just didn't know if your mom, which I didn't think she would be, but
No, we're good.
yeah.
We're good with that. No, I'm very blessed. I think you're very blessed. I don't have, my mom's not, like I say, the title of this is Mama Bears or the Beast. And that's very misleading.
It is.
It is. It's just a play on words. My mom has never been like a bear in any way. But she will protect me and she will stand up for me. She will not do anything. She will not let her cub get.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And so I say that she is a mama bear in that aspect, and she will turn into a beast if she needs to.
Yeah.
But she is not one that will just be a beast for no reason.
Yeah.
So that's the essence of that. So, all right. So we end our episode. We always end it with a win. Always. Right?
Always.
All right. So what is your win for the past 2 weeks?
Man, it's been a long 2 weeks. It really has. But I mean, obviously the win it's just seeing my wife be the mother to my children the way she is. Man, she is super mom. She's a nurse, just like your wife. But she works 12-hour shifts, and for her to be able to come home and, still, make games, make stuff at school, and to just doesn't let the tiredness get her down is just, she's a rock star. And so, man, she is the biggest win in my life since we've been married, or since we got together. She's just an amazing person. So,
Suka now.
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say probably the biggest win for me is the placenta cookbook that we're going to be coming out with. Yeah, man, I can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to come up with some good artwork, some graphic.
I don't know how much artwork there is into placentas.
I don't know what it is either, but I'm going to come up with some. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to say I'm kidding, but I'm not kidding. We're going to come up with a placenta cookbook, and we're going to make it happen.
We're going to post it on Facebook.
We're going to copyright it. It's going to be awesome. No, I would say for me, it was, I would say along the same lines. Like I said earlier, I don't get to see my mom very often, but I got to see my mom twice in within about a week and a half. She stopped by going to see her mom, and then coming back through, she came and got to watch my daughter, who was awesome at her dance recital, and your daughter too.
Yeah.
We got to do that, and I brag on my son so often with his baseball stuff, and I don't do it enough and dote on my daughter, but she is a phenomenal dancer, and I don't mean weird dancing. She does like drill
lyrical, tap,
yeah,
ballet, all that kind of stuff.
So it is team dancing, and she does great at it, and it's been so awesome to see how she has progressed over the years.
I'd definitely say this is one of the better recitals that I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah, and just the
and
way
it wasn't like slow.
the production of
it was amazing.
Yeah.
It really was.
And so for me, it was so cool to see how she's just matured in that aspect. And for me, and just have my parents and my in-laws there too. And we celebrated Mother's Day with them too. And then we got to play in a golf tournament, and dude, we won too. So
Yeah,
we won. So I had really not much to do with our victory.
the first thing Callie said to me was this morning,
What's that?
"Did y'all cheat?"
Oh, she's a sorry sucker. So
I'm like, Callie, you want to get punched?
we did have like 20 mulligans that we paid for legitimately.
Yeah, we did.
And we used them.
We did.
So,
But it was definitely a team effort.
but every single team bought mulligans and used them.
Yeah, so it was like we were just the only ones.
Yep. So,
No.
Anyway.
Awesome.
Well, that's all I got.
That's all I got too.
So Mama Bears
just
are
real
the
quick,
beast.
Just real quick, I'm gonna give a shout out to Leslie because the funniest thing I've ever heard her say is in the middle of the driving home at night was, "It sure is a dark night." So there you go, Leslie.
This water sure is wet.
But no.
Yep. All right. Well, until next time, we'll catch you later. We're the Trophy Bros, and we're out.
See y'all.
Thank you for listening to Trophy Bros.
You can reach us through email at trophybrospodcast@gmail.com.
Make sure to also check us out on Facebook.
And if you like our podcast, make sure to like, share, follow, and rate us.
We're the Trophy Bros, and we'll catch you next time.
See ya.